Yo, 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 this is Mr. O. Yo, 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 this is Mr. O. And today we're gonna go over about the study guide on Precog CP. So let's go ahead now here, okay? So determine if the given relation is a function and explain why not a function. Determine the domain range. Here you look at the x value. None of the x here, or there's an x repeated, the 2 and the 2 on the x value on your input. So therefore, this is not a function, okay? For you to write your domain and range, you make sure that you write it from least to greatest to, since there are two twos, you write it only once, 5 and 7. While for your range, there's all negative 3, negative 3, negative 3. So write it negative 3 there. The next one, you have given ordered pair. If you do the vertical line test here, draw that line there, it will cross 2 points. So therefore, this is not a function. And the domain there, you have to know the points. So here, you know that this one here is negative 5 on the x, negative 2, and positive 2. So therefore, it's negative 5, negative 2, and 2. For the range, you look at from the bottom. So the lowest portion here is negative 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4. This is also negative 4. No, no, no. That's not negative 4. How do I go back? Clear the screen. So let's do it again. This is negative 4. That's positive 1. That's positive 1, 2, 3. This 3. So negative 4, 1, comma 3. Okay. All right. Next here, you will see that the 1 goes with A and B. So this one here is not a function again. And the domain there are 1, 2, 3, 4. The range here are A, B, C, D. A, B, C, and D. Here, the vertical line test. So you need to zoom it again here. If you apply the vertical line test here, it crosses 2 points. So it's not a function again. The domain here is everything from left to right. That is negative 1, 2, 3. This is from negative 3 up to positive 3. So this will be a bracket, negative 3 to 3 bracket. While about the range, the lowest portion here is negative 1, 2, 3, negative 3 here up to the positive 3, positive 3. And that is your range. Okay. Let's go now to the next section. All right. How do you determine if the given function represent y as a function of x? Okay, very simple. Okay, the technique is you look at the y coordinate, y variable, as you check the exponent. If it's an even number like y squared or y fourth, then it will not give you a representation as a function of x. So this one is not. Here squared again, so it's going to be not. Here is equal to 1. The power of the y is equal to 1. So this is yes. Here, the power here is 1. So the answer is going to be yes here. Okay. So if you're given like x squared plus y cubed, since the power here is 3, it's an odd, that will be a yes there. So every time the exponent is an even for the y, the exponent of y is even, it's going to be a not representation of y as a function of x. Okay. Evaluate. So here you're gonna just plug in. So d of 2, you're gonna plug in 2 here. So 2 minus 5, absolute value of that one is 4 minus 5, which should be absolute value of negative 1, which is going to be 1, right? But you're going to subtract it with h of 4 right here. H of 4, h is square root of 4 plus 5 minus 3. That will be square of 9 minus 3, which is 3 minus 3, which will be 0. So it will be now 1 minus 0. So the answer is just 1. Okay. So that's only for letter A, okay? Next for letter B. Let's make it bigger here. There you go. For letter B, g of negative 3, so you're going to put negative 3 right here, right? So I'm going to use this space here. 2 negative 3 squared minus 7 times negative 3 plus 3. This will be 9. You're going to square it first. 9 times 2 is 18. Negative 7 times negative 3 is positive 21 plus 3. So that's going to be 21 plus 21 is 42. And then plus h of negative 1. So you're going to put negative 1 here. So negative 1 plus 5 minus 3. That will give you square root of 4 minus 3. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Since you're adding them, plus of negative 1, so the answer is 41. F of x plus 5, that means you're going to plug in x plus 5 to the f here. So 3x plus 5 minus 9. So 3x plus 15 minus 9, 3x plus 6. G of x minus 1, that means you're going to plug in g of x minus 1 here. So 2x minus 1 squared minus 7x minus 1 plus 3. So you're going to do the FOIL here. So x minus 1, x minus 1. Distribute the 7, negative 7x plus 7 plus 3. FOIL it here. So x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 7x plus 10, and then distribute 2x squared minus 4x plus 2 minus 7x plus 10. So the like terms here is 2x squared. This will become negative 11x plus 12. All right, let's go now to number 4. Find the values of x. Find the value of x such that f of x equals 0. So 32. Go back, go back, go back. There you go. So 32 minus 8x is equal to 0. Move the negative 8x to the other side to become 32 equals 8x. Divide by 8. So therefore, x equal to 4. Next here, you're going to set this equal to 0 again. Equals 0. Again, you make sure that you understand it's in the direction that f of x equal to 0, okay? Here you can factor them, factoring x. Two numbers, when you multiply them, gives you negative 16. When you add them, gives you a 0. It's x plus 4, x minus 4. Set them equal to 0 for both of them. It will be x plus 4 equals 0, and x minus 4 equals 0. Minus 4 on both sides. This will be x equals negative 4. Add 4 on both sides there, x equal to 4. Here g of x, so you're going to make this equal to 0 again. Then you multiply it by 5 by 5. This 5 cancel out. 5 times 0 is still going to be 0. So you only focus on the numerator, 3x minus 8. Move the 8 to the other side by adding 8 on both sides. So that gives you 8 equals 3x. Divide by 3. 8 thirds is the answer. Here you have x squared minus 6x minus 16. So x squared minus 6x minus 16, set it equal to 0. Do the factoring again here. X, X, 8, and 2. What two numbers, when you multiply them, gives you 16. When you add them, gives you negative 6. So this is negative, that's positive. Set them equal to 0. X minus 8 equals 0. X plus 2 is equal to 0. So plus 8 here, plus 8 there. X equal to 8, minus 2 here, minus 2. X equals to negative 2. So those two are the answers. Okay. Find the value of x in which for which f of x and g of x are equal. So they gotta be equal. So x plus 6 is equal to 7x minus 3. Distribute the 7 there. That will give you 7x minus 21. Solve for the x by minusing x here and adding 21 on the other side. That will give us, cancel this out here. That will give you 27 is equal to 6x. Divide by 6, divide by 6. That will give us 27 over 6, which is both of them are divisible by 3. So 9 over 2, right? Next, here you're gonna have x squared plus 5x, and that will be equal to 3x plus 15. Since that's squared now, I'm gonna move them all to the left because it's quadratic. X squared plus 2x, because 5x minus 3x is 2x. Negative 15 equals 0. Now you can factor them. What two numbers, when you multiply them, gives you 15? Negative 15. When you add them, gives you a 2. That's going to be 5 and negative 3. Set them equal to 0 on both sides. X plus 5 equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0. So this will be x equal to negative 5. X equal to 3. Letter C, again, set them equal to each other. X squared plus 2x minus 1 is equal to 7x minus 5. I'm going to move the 7x to the left by subtracting 7x here. I'm going to add 5 here. I'm going to add 5 there. This will make it 0 now. And this will become x squared minus 5x plus 4. What two numbers, when you multiply them, gives you a 4? When you add them, gives you negative 5. It's negative 1, negative 4. Then set them equal to 0 again. X minus 1 equals 0. X minus 4 equals 0. So therefore, x equal to 1, x equal to 4. Determine the domain of the function here. Uh, Remember, you gotta know the restriction, the rules. Okay, hold on. My mouse is not working. All right, there you go. So this is parabola. It's a U shape because it's an x squared. If that's the case, we always use all real numbers. When do we use all real numbers? To make it simple, if it's a cube, the square root, the in the radical sign is an odd, like that cube root is always all real numbers. This one here is a squared, so we cannot use that one. That's it. Those two are the chances that we are only going to use all real numbers. The rest of them, they have to do some work. Okay. For letter C, you're not allowed to have a denominator that is equal to 0. And in that case, you have the denominator x plus 3. Set it to not equal to 0, minus 3 minus 3. So therefore, x cannot be equal to negative 3. If you draw the number line for that one, this is the negative 3. The answer is everything except an open circle on the negative 3. So if you write your interval notation for this, everything from the far left is starting from negative infinity up to negative 3, open because it's open circle, union continue from negative 3 to the right side, which is the infinity. That is your letter C. Okay. For letter D, hold on. We have here square root. That's one of the rule again. If you have square root, has to always be greater than or equal to 0 if it's numerator. Okay. So you have 7 minus 2x greater than or equal to 0. Subtract 7 on both sides. So that gives you negative 2x greater than or equal to negative 7. You're going to divide by negative 2, negative 2. Every time you divide the inequality by negative, this inequality flips over. So that gives you x less than 7 halves. If you draw the number line for that, 7 halves is close to the left. So the interval notation start from negative infinity up to 7 halves bracket because it's close. Number letter E, you're not allowed to have the denominator equal to 0. So x squared minus 6x equals 0. What's common to them? It's squared, so it's going to be factoring. X is common to them, so x minus 6. Okay, equals 0. So therefore, this is a factor. The orange is a factor, and another orange here is a factor. Both of them are factors. So set them both to 0, and you will solve it. So since x by itself, that's already solved. Plus 6 here, x equal to 6. So that means in your graph, since they are in the denominator, they're both numbers that you cannot have. So from 0 and 6, you cannot have them. So the answers are everything from the left, open circle to 0, then continuously from 0, open to the 6, and everything there. So in other words, your interval notation is starting from negative infinity to 0, parenthesis, union, 0 to 6, close, union, parenthesis, 6 to the infinity. Next, same thing in number 5. Don't be discouraged or worry about the 5x here. It doesn't do anything unless you can cancel them if they're both equal to 5x, but it's not going to happen here. So focus still on the denominator side. You can see a denominator here can be factored, what two numbers, remember you cannot have equal 0 for that. What two numbers, when you multiply them, gives you 24. When you add them, gives you 2. The answer is 6 and 4. But it has to be positive 2, so this is a plus and this is be minus. So therefore, x cannot be equal to positive 4. Take note, it's positive 4. X plus 6, set it equal to 0, minus 6 on both sides. So therefore, x can be equal to negative 6. Again, when you draw the number line for that, you're going to the negative 6 on the left, and this is positive 4. Everything on the left side will be counted. Open circle to negative 6, open circle to the 4, and further to the right. So the interval notation will be negative infinity up to negative 6, union, what's that? Negative 6 to 4, union 4 to the infinity. Okay. Next, m of x, square root of x minus 3 plus x plus 3. Now, this is where the rule 1 and 2 are together. In rule 1, you know that it's a radical sign and it's a square root. The index there is 2, so we can apply it like letter D. So x minus 3 has to be greater than or equal to 0. Add 3 on both sides there. So x must be greater than or equal to 3. Okay, remember that. So the graph for that one is going to be 3 here to the right, close. Let's go to the next one, x plus 3. That means x plus 3 set it equal to not 0, so therefore x cannot be equal to negative 3. So any number will work except negative 3. So starting from the left, open circle negative 3. No, I'm wrong. So negative 3 is right here. This is negative 3 here. So everything from the infinity, open circle there, from negative 3 to 3 to the right. Okay. Did the purple one red overlap? Yes, they overlap right here on this pink side here, right? So in other words, the domain here is starting from 3 to infinity. Since they're both close here, it's going to be bracket, and infinity will always have parenthesis. And what if you reverse it? Again, this x minus 3 will not impact us anything at all. So don't be square with that one. Unlike here, it was in a square. That's why it did matter. Here is a square of x plus 3. Again, in the square root of x plus 3, typically we rule it out as greater than equal to 0. But since it's in the denominator, we cannot have it equal to 0. So let's cross it out here. It's only greater than. So x plus 3 must be greater than 0. So x is greater than negative 3. So if we do the number line there, negative 3 is here, this negative 3 here, okay? Open circle to the right. So everything on the negative 3 to the infinity. Okay. Now complete the table here. Increasing and decreasing interval, relative min max, constant interval, domain and range. Okay. First thing you're gonna do here is find um, the relative max and min. So this orange yellow point is your max. This orange one is your minimum. Let's say that is equal to negative 1 comma 3, and let's say this one here is 1 comma negative 3 there, right? So we should understand that everything in green are increasing. These are all increasing, and this is coming down. This go further up. When you write, okay, let's write our answer here first. So for the relative minimum is 1 negative 3, relative max is negative 1 comma 3. The increasing interval start, you remember when you're writing the increasing, decreasing, and constant interval, you're gonna go from left to right. It's you only look at the x value. This is negative infinity coming from the left side, not going down, coming from the left side. And the left side for the increasing interval started from negative infinity up to the x value here on the yellow point on the max, which is negative 1. Union, because there's another time it's going up, started at 1 to the right side infinity. While for the decreasing interval, I can say the pink one. This is the decreasing, it's going down. It's going down from negative 1 to positive 1. There's no constant here, means it's a flat horizontal, so this will be none. The domain here, since this keeps going to the left, this keeps going to the right, is all real numbers. And we know the range here, this keeps going down and keeps going up, so it's going to be the same, all real numbers. Okay. Next, here we have a graph. We know that the relative max is here. There is no specific relative mean here. We do not know the relative mean. Minimum is like somewhere like there's a turning point. There's change of direction. That's a minimum. Okay. So in this case here, we only have relative max, which is 4 comma 4. We don't have a relative minimum here. But we still have to know, okay, this is 4, 4. We know that. We have to know this point here and that point there and this point here. Okay. So this one here is 0 comma 3. This one here is 1 comma 1. This one is 2 comma 1. And it's stopped here at 6 comma 1. Okay, so there's no relative minimum here. Increasing interval, where's it going up? It's going up from here and keeps going further there. Okay, so even there's an angle or a corner here, don't count that one because they're both going up. So the increasing interval, again, you read the x value only from 2 to 4. Decreasing interval, this is going down, that is going down there. So it started at 0 comma 1 union 4 comma 6. Constant, yes, at this time we have constant, the yellow one here, right? It's constant from 1 to 2. Domain from left to right, this is the domain from 0 up to 6 bracket because those are close. And the lowest point here is 1 to 4. So 1 comma 4. And that is your answer for this item number 7. Okay. Next, let's graph this one here. Now we're gonna graph this and describe the transformation. Don't forget that one. All right. So So for this one here, we are graphing a parabola because it's a squared. Parabola starts at the origin. We use the pattern 135. Up 1 over, up 3 over, reflection, reflection. So this orange graph is my parabola. If I do the g of x, it says there, the transformation is the x minus 5 tells you to go right 5. The 3 there means go up 3. Okay, so that means you're gonna go right 5, up 3. 1, 2, 3. That green point is my vertex. The vertex now here is going to be 5 comma 3. And I'll do the same thing 1, 3, 5. Up 1 over, 1, 2, 3 over, reflection, reflection there. And there you go. Okay. Next, letter B, absolute value. Absolute value is a V shape, starts at the origin, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Then do the reflection, reflection, reflection there. So the graph for absolute value of x will be just like a V shape, like the yellow one here. Okay. For the transformation or the g of x, I see x minus 3 inside, so that's going to the right 3. Plus 4 means you're gonna go up 4. Okay, so you're gonna go right 3, up 4. This one here, this blue point, the vertex there is 3 comma 4. But there's a minus here or negative sign. That means it will reflect over the x-axis, so it will flip over. So the graph will be down 1 right, down 1 left, I mean down 1 left, down 1 right, down 1 right, down 1 right. So it's going to be flip. You look at it, it will be flip, right? hmm And there you go. All right, next. For this one here, square root is the one with like a R. So the f of x starts at the origin, up 1 over 1. We're still going to do the 135 here, but sideways. Up 1 over 3, up 1 over 5. The graph for that one would be something like this. The vertex is the origin. So if you have minus 2 inside, that means you're going to go right 2. You're going to go right 2. Plus 5 means you're going to go up 5. Right 2, up 5. Right here. So the vertex here starts at 2 comma 5. And then there's a negative here outside. That means it will reflect over the x-axis again. So down 1, right, down 1 over 3, down 1 over 5. So the graph will be something like this pink one here. Okay. Next, x cubed is the three kings. So that means starts at the origin and then the three kings. And then 7 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. So when you grab that one, it's just something like this. That's a cubic, okay? But when we added the 2 there, that means you're going to go right 2 minus 1, you're going to down 1. Okay? So right 2, down 1. There you go. So the vertex becomes now 2, negative 1. Then do the same thing to make the 3 kings. And then 7 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 1. And then this will be something similar to this one here. Okay, so it shifted down 1 and then right or left 2. Hold on. I'm wrong there. I'm wrong there. Since this is plus 2, you're going to go left 2, down 1. My mistake. So left 2, down 1. So the vertex has to be here. The vertex has to be -2, -1. So see, I commit mistake also. Then do the three kings. I commit mistakes, so that's why you have to double check your answer. Okay. Then 7 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 1, and then down 1 there. So the graph will be like that. Okay. Thank you. All right. All right. So let's go now to the last section here. We are in the last section, guys. This is now the evaluating the piecewise function. Just having a hard time to zoom this one. Oh, it's too big. All right. So you're given here a piecewise function with the equation here, obviously. F of 6. 6, you have to check the restriction. Is it a yellow? Is it a green? Or is it a blue? 6 is it less than -4? Is 6 between -4 and 3 or 6 greater than 3? The answer is blue. That means you're going to plug in the 6 right here. So 3 square root of 6 minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. There's a 3 outside. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 times 3, the answer is 6. Next, f of 0. 0 is between -4 and 3. So you're going to plug in the 0 right in the absolute value. 2 times 0 minus 7. Outside there's a 4. 2 times 0 is 0. Minus 7 is absolute value of -7 plus 4. Absolute value of -7 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. And -5 is smaller than -4, it's less than -4, so you're going to plug in -5 right here. So -5 plus 2 cube minus 1, -3 cube minus 1. The meaning of cube is -3 times -3 times -3. That will give you -27 minus 1. The answer is -28. And for last one, 1/2, f of -1/2. -1/2 is between -4 and 3. So it will be, abs- so it should be in the middle one, 2 -1/2 minus 7 plus 4. This cancel out. So that gives you -1 minus 7 is -8. Absolute value of 8 is 8 plus 4. The answer is 12. And there you go. That's how you do the study guide. I really do hope that you learned something. As always, kaboom.